Hello, welcome to the instructional video to help you through onboarding in isolved for your new position. Now, your manager, owner, whoever it happens to be, will set it up and you will get an email from Simco HR. It says that your onboarding has been initiated. When you click on that, you'll see kind of a welcome email and a URL that you're going to click. And your username is your email address. So I'm going to click that. It will bring me to iSolved. My username is again my email. And then I've already created a password for this. You will go through a process to create a password and a user identity. But once you sign in, you'll only see the one for the company you're being hired for. So you'll click on that. And then this is the onboarding experience. So you'll come to the screen and it'll say, um, welcome, and then you continue. And then depending on your user experience, there may be documents or the such. So you're just going to start top to bottom. So we're going to start here. And this just says, welcome again, and has if you had a handbook or certain forms that your employer wanted you to sign, they would be here. But since there's no links, we're going to go to next and an explanation. Now, anytime you see a blue link, you're going to want to click that. So I click this, and that is known as the pay disclosure form. So this tells you what you're going to be paid, when your payday is, how often you're paid, your overtime rate, which is 1.5 times your rate. And you'll see on the right, there is a space for you to fill in. Now you're going to type exactly your name as it is here. So I'm going to type Bill Simcoe. And then I'm going to click Save. So now you see here, it says form completed. So I'm going to go next. And then it's going to have information that you have to fill out about yourself. So obviously, it pre-fills your name first and last. If you have anything you want to add, middle initial, you're the third. Um, if I had put this in as William, but you prefer to go by Bill, you could put that. You could put in your pronouns. Now you would put your address. And then it'll ask, sometimes it'll automatically populate, sometimes it will ask you to choose. So we're just going to choose Canandaigua and then click Save. Now, contact information. So now this is where you're going to want to put your personal information. So we're just going to say we were born on the 1st in 1970. ID type, it's always going to be SSN for you, social security number. You can put in, whoops, you should put in your actual one. You can put in phone numbers, email address, your marital status, your military status. Those are all optional, but you can fill those in. Now you can see these no longer say, these just say edit, so you could go back and fix anything. I'm going to click next. This is where you're going to put in your direct deposit information. So you should have a check or something from your bank so you can verify that you have the correct routing and account number. If you want multiple accounts, then you can add new once you go through this. If you put, a flat dollar amount, you would put, $100, and then it would ask you for another one for remainder, such things like that. I'm going to cancel that and click next. And now you're going to go through your tax wizard. This will be your federal and state taxes. So this first one, you just kind of read through what each one says. So in my case, I'm just going to click standard federal withholding, and then it says that my W-4 is not complete. So I'm going to start. I'm not a resident alien. I'm not exempt from withholdings. Let's say single. And this would be if you wanted to add anything. I'm going to say none of the above. Again, you can read that part. If you want to claim dependents, it'll help you calculate that. Um, Other income, deductions, extra withholding. So let's say you want, here, let's click this. Let's say you wanted to have an extra $25 withheld from your check every week, but we don't expect any extra. So, oops, I will claim the standard deduction. Then it will ask you to confirm. Your digital signature is done by clicking this number and then the last four digits of your social security number. That form will be submitted. Then you can either sign out if you have to run and sign back in later, or we continue and it'll bring you to the New York State withholding form. So, do I work in New York? I'm not a resident of the city or Yonkers. I don't work in any of those fields. And again, read through these to see if you're exempt, but I am not. So I'm going to click none of the above. This is New York State paid family leave. You can read more information online or here about that, but I do not meet the criteria to opt out. And then you can see again, not complete the IT 2104, which is the New York State tax withholding form. So again, we'll go single. I do not want to complete a worksheet. I am not a resident of either one. Now, if I am having allowances, so I have one child, one dependent, um, but then that's for New York State, and this is for New York City. So we're just going to put 0. And then again, if you want additional withholdings for New York State, each check, you can do that. New York City, I'm not there. And Yonkers, I'm not there. So again, I'm going to digitally sign this form. And at this point, my form is done. So I hit finished. And this this page shows that I am not I am done. I have to go back to the tab for isolved. So now it knows that I went through the process, so I just have to confirm that I completed that. Now I'm going to go to next, and it's going to bring you to the Form I-9. This is the form that proves you're allowed to work in the United States of America. So I'm going to click Form I-9. And then again, your information needs to be the same. So I am going to put in that. Again, middle initial, other last names used. Those are optional. We do have to put in our date of birth, and it has to match, obviously, what we put in the beginning, as well as the social security number. I could put email address. I do have to put my address. And then add the state. I changed that here. Let me put this correct. All right. And then on the I-9, it always asks, did you use a preparer or translator? So in my case, I did not. I am a citizen of the United States. If any of these others qualify, then you do that. Signature again has to be the same. And I sign. And it asks me to acknowledge. And I'm now done with my I-9. Now, you are required to provide documents, which in the email you get will give you that list of documents. So I'm going to go to, I can upload this so that I can show my employer what I have. So it's been a while since I've done this. So hang on one second. So I'm going to upload my social security card. This isn't really mine. And then I need a driver's license as well. Oh, yeah. All right. So I've uploaded those to prove that I am able to work. So I go to complete. Yes, I'm done. Close. Now we're done. So we're just going to click next and we're going to submit back to our employer and exit. Now you will notice that at this point, if you were to try to log in to iSolved, again, under that one you just did, you'll see that you cannot because you still need to be hired by your manager. So once your manager hires you, then you are all set. Now, if you were to Google iSolved login and we go to, we'll just go to this one and we try to log in, that example, you will get this warning. Basically, iSolved has very specific sign-ins depending on a few things. Now, for Simco, which is us who handle your payroll, you would have to put simcohr.myisolved.com and then you sign in there. So that is very specific. So if you ever see that warning, that's just telling you you're at the wrong website. This is also explained in the email that is sent to you. Thank you so much. Good luck at the new position.